Hello, once again. My name is Evan Jacobs, and welcome to another edition of Boxing Time TV. We have a very good fight tonight. Doing sort of a late show. It is going to be George Groves taking on Callum Smith, and this is going to be happening at the King Abdullah Sports Arena in Jeddah. I'm not gonna lie, I don't really know where that is. And yeah, this is scheduled for September 28th, 2018. Very, very excited about this fight. I think it's going to be a good fight. I think it's going to be entertaining. We got some other fights on the docket that we're going to be doing, and we just found out today that Tyson Fury versus Deontay Wilder is a go. So that is pretty exciting news. If you want to see a simulation of that, we did one a while ago. You can watch it here on Boxing Time TV. Just sort of scroll through all the fights. We have over 100 fights up. Anyway, let's just get right to this. George Groves is 30. Callum Smith is 28. Groves, 71-inch height. He's 5'11". Callum Smith is... I'm sorry, he's 6... I'm sorry, yeah, he's 5'11". Callum Smith is 6'3". They're 168. They're super middleweights. George Groves, 72 reach. I didn't have one for Callum Smith, so I just sort of guesstimated. George Groves, 28-0 with 3 losses. 2 of those by knockout, and Callum Smith 24-0. I made these guys pretty decent punchers just because out of their fights they have a bunch. They have over half their fights have well over half their fights have ended in knockouts. So I'm thinking that there's got to be some power there. Hold on one second. I'm gonna go put on a fan. Out here in California, it's a little bit cold, so we're just gonna turn on a fan. I don't think that's going to distract us too much. I bought a new chair. I put it together, an ergonomic chair. So I'm sitting here, and my core is getting a workout as I do this. So yeah. I should have set this up long before I started this. And the fight mode is simulation. That's a 12-round fight, 3-minute rounds, 10-point must scoring system, no mandatory 8 count, 3 knockdown rule waived. All right, let's get right to this. These guys are coming out now. Groves kind of coming out with determination. Comes out and lands a left hand. He has good power. So, it's a question of can he land correctly? That's the thing is that, in the first fight against Carl Frampton, and Frampton got that stoppage, a lot of people were complaining. But I was like, well, hey, Frampton was landing, Groves wasn't responding, and it's the kind of thing, you got to keep your hands up at all times, blah, blah, blah. And then they fought a second time, and everyone thought, George Groves was going to beat, I'm sorry, not Frampton, Carl Froch. And everyone thought George Groves was just going to murder Carl Froch in the rematch. As you know, that did not happen. So it is very interesting to see where that's going to go, what's gonna happen now. And and you have George Groves landing that left hand again. I know he wants to do some stuff to keep Callum Smith off of him. I'm sorry, Callum Smith. I'm just going through this. They're landing right now on each other. It's still the first round, and Callum Smith kind of has George Groves in the corner. That's probably pretty much where he wants him. He wants to score a stoppage of sorts. He wants to look impressive. And that's going to be, so we have Kubrat Pulev on 10:27. And then, I'm sorry, Hughie Fury versus Kubrat Pulev. Callum Smith landing on him, trying to back him up into the ropes. And George Groves would like to land. George Groves would like to do something to keep him off of him. So it's the kind of thing that I don't know, if George Groves is going to be able to do that. He does have good power. He has, I had him, he stopped Chris Eubank. So that's something to be, thought about. Oh, look at that. George Groves landing that uppercut. That uppercut did him a lot of service when he fought in that fight. Sorry that it's been a while since I've done this. It's just I got sick and I had a cold, and it just wasn't I wasn't in the greatest shape. But back now, I'm hoping to continue to do one of these a week. The problem is a lot of these go the distance, and it comes down to time and just having that extra hour in the week to be able to do it. But I realize that that's no excuse. And right now, I'm thinking, I don't know, even. I mean, that's kind of the way that it's looking to me. I got a lot of bouts as I'm doing this that I'm seeing are gonna happen. Oh, and so George Groves winning by 1 point that I'm seeing are happening in no in oh wow, George Groves taking some shots from Callum Smith. Once again, you are watching Boxing Time TV. My name is Evan Jacob. If you like what you're seeing here, please like, comment, and subscribe. Please let people know. I'm sorry. Please let me know what fights you would like to see. I will do my best to make all of them. Just wanting to keep everybody happy. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Ring the bell. Let people know, the bouts that you are interested in seeing, and they will be made, hopefully, I can get to them in time. As I'm seeing, sorry that I've been a bit unfocused here. As I'm seeing on the docket, oh wow, Callum Smith landing and George Groves landing on him, and this is an uppercut from Callum Smith. And that's the thing, is I think Smith may have a better chin, or maybe he just hasn't been in against the kind of punchers that George Groves has been in against. And then coming up in the future, we have Kosei Tanaka versus Shu Kimura. And then after that, we're going to do Kosei Inoue versus, I believe it's Payano. And then after that, we're going to do Regis Prograis versus Terry Flanagan. And then after that, we're going to do Daniel Jacobs versus I believe it's Sergey Derevchenko, and then Huey Fury versus Kubrat Pulev. So we have a full slate coming, and I would obviously like to do all the fights, but it's just there's only so much time, and like I said, I try to do one of these a week. So if I can get that done, I am more than happy, and it's just one of my personal goals. Not sure if that's going to happen, but I do my best. Oh, George Groves going to the body on Callum Smith. Callum Smith landing on George Groves. Body shots. These guys are going for it. The thing about George Groves is he's very, very scrappy. And, I did some things on my Boxing Time TV show. I just really liked Carl Froch a lot. Okay, well, you have Callum Smith getting 10-8, 10-8, and a 10-9 over George Groves. I was into other things that round, organizing the Boxing Time TV slate, that I don't know, there may have been a knockdown and I missed it. But one thing I'll say is George Groves is scrappy. And the thing is, when he first came on the scene and he was fighting Carl Froch, I was a big fan of Froch. I just liked Froch's, scrappy, working-class style. And then I just felt that George Groves kind of came in and just wasn't being very respectful, and I just didn't like the way that he conducted himself. Well, I think that over time, I've come to really respect George Groves because Carl Froch knocked him out really, really bad. And a lot of fighters would have been hard for them to recover, and George Groves has come back and he's really since that bout had a really good career. So he's taking some shots here from Callum Smith. And as I'm seeing here, you have him. You know, he gets knocked out by Carl Froch in 8 rounds, comes back with a victory over Christopher Breeze, Dennis Doglin, loses a split decision to Bodu Jack, then goes on a tear, beats David Brophy, Martin Murray, Fedor Chudinov, Jamie Cox, and Chris Eubank Jr. And now he gets knocked down again in the second round by Callum Smith. And I may have done a mistake giving both these guys the power that I did. But, George Groves dropped and almost out in the second round. And, hey, he had Carl Froch there, and Carl Froch came back. Maybe George Groves can find something against Callum Smith and make it a reality. But came back and beat Chris Eubank Jr. So he's a scrappy guy. And I may have done this wrong. I maybe should have made these guys average punchers. But, based on, I was just looking at their records, and I truly believe that if over half your fights, if you've had 24 fights, and a good majority of them, are, so you have knockouts for half your fights, okay, then you're an average puncher. If you have well over that for Callum Smith, he has 24 victories and 17 KOs in those victories. So, he's only gone the distance 7 times. I'm going to say he has power. George Groves, conversely, looking at his thing, I want to say that George Groves' record is 28 and 3 with 20 KOs. So he's only been the distance 8 times. So to me, it's like it just seemed to make sense. So that's where I put him. And George Groves is just a little bit off. He almost landed at a right hand right there. It would have been interesting to see what would have happened if it would have landed. The other news today that we found out, Groves has a cut over his eye. I mean, can he pull this off? Can he land something? Callum Smith has him behind the 8 ball. Can George Groves, he's behind by 10 points. Is he going to go into survival mode, or is Callum Smith gonna get popped in a way and suddenly have to start thinking about things in his own right? What I was going to say is that the Tyson Fury Deontay Wilder match is a go, and I think that's a very, very good match. And we did Boxing Time TV here, and I want to say that we did that bout on Boxing Time TV, and I believe that Deontay Wilder stopped Tyson Fury. And I think it was a pretty brutal, easy stoppage. We'll see what happens in real life. Tyson Fury is a very good boxer, and that can be the difference here. But I just think that Wilder hits really hard, and I think that Wilder is a very underappreciated boxer. I think it's because he's kind of unorthodox in his approach. But the good thing is that he's forcing Anthony Joshua into a fight. Like, he's putting Anthony Joshua into a position where Joshua has to take him on, and that being the case, that this fight is this is going to be, should Deontay Wilder get that victory, potentially a really good victory, because he will have beaten the lineal champion, and that'll give him bragging rights. You have George Groves just getting a pounding here, and he wants to land. It's just Callum Smith just seems to have his number. Smith's showing really good defense, getting him on the ropes. Not sure how much longer this is going to go. Punches him into the ropes. And I mean, we're just seeing some really good action here. Callum Smith. Now, I don't know if that's how it's going to go when these guys get it on September 28th, but there's a chance that it could. And once again, I did give these guys both hard. You can make it hard, average, light as far as power. I gave them both hard power. And man, you have George Groves just getting his head handed to him right now. He's getting punched around, and this is a really interesting fight. Just in and of itself. But Smith has thrown a lot of punches. Can he keep this up? Is it going to be possible for him to keep this up? Is there a chance that George Groves is gonna do something and make Callum Smith pay? There's always that chance. But George Groves has got to throw punches to do that, and right now he's not doing that. We're coming into the final seconds of this, the fourth round. Once again, you are watching Boxing Time TV. My name is Evan Jacobs. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Ring the bell, and let me know fights that you want to see. So once again, Callum Smith taking this round 10-8 on all three judges' scorecards. He's up by 16 points. George Groves is really behind the eight ball here. He's going to have to start doing more. He comes out, he tries to land that left hand, but Callum Smith dodges it. And we're seeing two of the best in boxing, and at this level, and Callum Smith's having a very easy time with George Groves. These guys are standing in center ring, and George Groves did just get wobbled rather hard by Callum Smith. Remains to be seen if Smith can indeed keep this up. Step off my ergonomic chair for a moment. I like this thing. I like its design. I like its ease of use. Callum Smith moving George Groves into the ropes, and this is becoming academic now. We're just seeing this. I think George Groves is in survival mode. I think that Callum Smith is hitting him and hurting him in a way that George Groves just maybe didn't expect. I'm sure he trained hard. I'm sure he came in as prepared as he could. But, it's like they say, everyone has a plan until they get punched in the face. Well, I give George Groves credit. He's still hanging on, but he just got tagged. And Callum Smith continues to tag him. And Callum Smith, entering a division, there are some good super middleweights out there. Although there's not really a star in the division right now, he certainly could move up to light heavyweight, where there's the Dmitry Bivol, who I think is the best light heavyweight in the world. Sergey Kovalev just got knocked out by Alito Alvarez. I'm sure that Alvarez Bivol is going to be a great fight. Should that happen? So Groves very tired, has a cut over his eyes. Smith is breathing heavy, and he's hanging on almost halfway through the fight. This may be his end game. Get Callum Smith into it, get him tired, and land some Hail Mary shots. He has the power. We have the fight here where he stopped Chris Eubank. It was a very good fight. It's a fight in which Groves was behind, and it looked like Chris Eubank was going to pull ahead. And then, lo and behold, that was not the case. And Callum Smith is jabbing, throwing punches to the body and the head of George Groves. Callum Smith just trying to set it up. You know, these rounds are kind of, it's becoming sort of like Groundhog Day. George Groves in survival mode, really not doing a lot of output. He gets wobbled. Callum Smith lands some shots, and George Groves kind of just figures out a way to sort of stay in there against this really tough customer. And you have just, you know, Callum Smith landing. You know, it's not his fault. George Groves, like I said, is scrappy, and if he's gonna pull it off, now is the time to do it. And he continues to land on him. Callum Smith continues to land on George Groves. And oh, George Groves is hurt. Callum Smith get another round halfway through, cut over his eye. George Groves is holding on, and Callum Smith is going to take this 10-8, 10-7, and he didn't even score a knockdown. That is how little George Groves was able to do in that round due to Callum Smith. So, you know, we're at a point right now where George Groves is behind what looks to be like 26 points or something. And Callum Smith comes out, and he's showing no fear now. He thinks he has to know he has George Groves right where he wants him, and you know he wants to land on him, and he wants to make something happen, and you know this is. And you know George Groves really not doing much. Oh, and George Groves trying to hold him off, tries to land an uppercut there. Give him credit. I give George Groves all the credit in the world, man. He's trying. He wants to win this fight. He wants to make something happen. It's just not happening at this point. And Callum Smith's landing, but Callum Smith needs to increase. If he wants to get a knockout, he's going to win these rounds. Simply because George Groves isn't doing anything. If he wants to get the knockout, wants to really be impressive. I mean, he's taking the title. I don't know how anyone would have this for George Groves. They're not fighting in ring center. Callum Smith is not getting hit, really. I mean, this isn't to say George Groves couldn't land something. Always that possibility. But, you know, we know George Groves is scrappy. He's going to be in there for the duration. All right. So George Groves losing that round 9 by, you know, only getting 9 points on one judge's scorecard and then 8 on the others. Oh, and he gets hit now. George Groves does. He takes some more shots. And Callum Smith landing, throws, you know, now he's just setting up his shots. Oh, and he has George Groves wobbled. He goes to the body. And, you know, this fight, you know, George Groves is taking a pounding. You know, I give him a lot of credit. You know, and he's holding on. He's taking these shots to the body. He got dropped. He was almost down for the 9 count. He got up. But maybe this is somewhat of a moral victory. Once again, you are watching Boxing Time TV. My name is Evan Jacobs. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Please let me know fights that you want to see made. Like I said, in the future we're gonna have Kosei Tanaka versus Shu Kimura. Then after that, we're gonna have Kosei Inoue versus Jose Payano. I think that's his name. Then Regis Prograis versus Terry Flanagan. Then we're going to have Daniel Jacobs versus Sergey Derevchenko. Once again, I believe that's his name. And then we're going to have Huey Fury versus Kubrat Pulev. Not to mention other fights that come up and fights that, you know, like I said, I try to do one of these a week. There's more than enough fights coming up. I'd obviously like to do every fight, but I wouldn't be able to do anything else if that was the case. And that would not be good. I enjoy doing this podcast. I think that it's unique. We have a little audience. We're building it up slowly but surely. And it's ultimately just a lot of fun. So we have 4 more rounds to go. George Groves, they're saying, is very tired and has a cut over his eyes. Callum Smith is breathing heavy. And George Groves losing that round, only getting 9 points and then 8 points on 2 of the other judges' scorecards. All right. So George Groves once again is backed into the corner by Callum Smith. You know, this is just, you know, another example. Oh, and landing a left hand on George Groves is Callum Smith. Callum Smith punches George Groves into the ropes. And these two guys, I give George Groves credit for hanging on. Every round it seems like he's been wobbled. Every round it seems like he's been hurt, yet he keeps coming back for more. You've got to like that. You've got to respect that. If you're a boxing fan, then you've got to certainly appreciate that. Callum Smith going to the body on George Groves, countering him with a left hand. And this has just been a beating. I hate to say it, George Groves is taking a beating. Callum Smith is keeping the pressure on. Not too much more that I can say here. He wobbles George Groves. George Groves, I know, would like to land. I know he's got the pop. He could certainly do something to Callum Smith. He takes another left hand and goes into the ropes. All right, they're saying George Groves has a gash. This bout very well could be stopped. He is bleeding. Callum Smith once again, 10-8, 10-8, 10-7. I mean, George Groves really needs a knockout to win. Probably not going to get it. Callum Smith up by 43 points. But who knows? Maybe George Groves will be a moral victory. He'll go out on his feet. He hung in there, he hung tough against the tough and strong Callum Smith. Going to the body now as Callum Smith slams George Groves into the ropes. I'm telling you, I could see this being stopped. But you never know. Sometimes the computer's fickle, and it doesn't necessarily do that. Callum Smith continuing to land. It's funny because you can see that George Groves wants to do stuff. He's just not able to. Callum Smith, give him a lot of credit. Came in against a tough George Groves. He has him hurt, has him wobble against the ropes, but he kind of backs off. He sort of takes a picture of his work, and maybe he's tired. He's thrown a lot of punches. This whole fight, he's thrown a lot of punches. Oh, going to the body. Callum Smith is continuing to learn and like pummel almost George Groves. Callum Smith just landing, and will it be enough? Does George Groves, is he saving something? I don't think so. I think for him it's full survival mode. He's happy that he's gotten this far, or maybe just wants to have it stopped right now. I'm saying he's getting pummeled. It would make sense. He's hopelessly behind the scorecards, but you never know. I'll get punched into the ropes again. Let's see what the judges say. I can see this being all 10-7 for Callum Smith. Like I said, George Groves still has that gash. So that is a problem for him as he is behind on points. And we're moving now into the 11th round. George Groves is up by, I want to say, 52 points. Callum Smith just continuing to land, pounding George Groves. It's an interesting fight, interesting bout. You know, and I'm telling you, I still hold out some hope that George Groves has something up his sleeve. He's gonna set it up with that left hand and throw a right hand over the top and catch Callum Smith, who, you know, is probably tired, might get complacent. We will have to see. Continuing to land on him, throwing the punches that he needs to throw. Callum Smith going to the body, and George Groves, you know, trying a little bit more, showing good defense. Throwing a right hand is George Groves. Taking an uppercut. Going to the body. Punching him into the ropes. This is, Callum. It's been Callum Smith's fight. George Groves looks like he will see the 12th round. Who knows? Maybe there will be a stoppage in this round. Maybe on the cut that George Groves has over his eye. But George Groves can say he went 12 rounds, and he's lost it by. He only got 9 points, and then 7-7 on the others. We'll see what happens now as these two touch gloves. And they're standing in the center. George Groves going to the body, touching Callum Smith. And I'm saying crazier things have happened on Boxing Time TV. If George Groves just inches from running that left hand, that could set something up. But Callum Smith, you got to give him credit, has fought through all of it, has taken the shots. You know, in a 12-round fight, you're going to get hit. And Callum Smith has gotten hit. He has come back. And, you know, you gotta give him respect for that. And I most certainly do. George Groves again going to the ropes. Callum Smith landing on him, going to the body. And, that's it. Hey, I give George Groves a lot of credit. He was out, and he got up at the count of 9. So, he could have just, he could have, not dogged it, but he could have stayed down. He did not do that. He fought like a true champion. He got back up, and he's tried. It's just Callum Smith has just had too much for him. Callum Smith punching him into the ropes now. And going to the body on George Groves. Callum Smith, just continuing to pound George Groves. No let up. He wants to make this official. He wants this victory. We're in the final minute of the 12th round as George Groves looks like he's about to lose the title. But this is just a simulation. That's why you should watch this and then watch the real thing and see what happens. But Callum Smith seems like he's going to pull it off. And that is pretty darn impressive. To come in like he did, pull it off, and to just to fight his fight. He does have the advantages in the height and whatnot. Makes it harder for George Groves to land. Groves got to do certain things he's probably not comfortable with. But man, even still, to come in a championship fight and perform the way that he has, you got to give Callum Smith credit. We're in the final 10 seconds, and these are going to be very, very lopsided scores. But George Groves, give him all the credit in the world. He made it through the 12-round fight against Callum Smith. Mundo, that's his alias. Judges are adding their scorecards. And Callum Smith gets the victory. The winner is Callum Smith by unanimous decision. The fight lasted 12 rounds. George Groves was knocked down one time and has a gash over his eye. Smith was not knocked down. Look at the disparity in scoring. One judge gave it to Callum Smith by 19 points. Another judge gave it to him by 24 points. I don't think I've ever seen scores that low. Another judge gave it to him by 23. 25. No, 24 and 23. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching Boxing Time TV. My name is Evan Jacobs. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Please tell your friends. Please ring the bell. And we will see you next time at the fight. Boxing Time TV. Why wait? Watch it now. And, why wait? Watch now. And then watch the real thing and compare them both.